Hello everyone. Welcome to A Million Things About Japan. I'm Machiko. I was born and raised in Japan, but I also lived in California for a little over 12 years. Then I moved back to Japan this past December. On each episode, I would like to introduce things related to Japan. It can be Japanese food, culture, customs, and more, but something unique, something really Japanese, and hopefully something new to you. So please subscribe to the channel and find out what Japan has to offer. よろしくお願いします。It's hot every day here in Tokyo. Most of Japan has a heat stroke a lot every day. The temperature is around 35 degrees Celsius and super humid. Summer in Japan is as bad as I heard, but I also enjoy summer in a very Japanese way. My husband and I went to a Natsu Matsuri, or Japanese summer festival, organized by the local community. It took place at a small nearby shrine, and it brought back a lot of nostalgic feelings. So, I would like to share my experience of Natsu Matsuri with you today. We have many Natsu Matsuri in Japan, from small community ones to huge famous ones. I mentioned this in one of the previous episodes, but when I was a kid, my summer break always started with going to the summer festival at the shrine. My mom gave me a small allowance, and I sometimes asked her to dress me up in yukata, which is a casual summer kimono. Once I got old enough to go there with just my friends, we enjoyed our evening, hanging out and spending our allowance on food and games. Even though I'm an adult now, I was still very excited walking toward the shrine and seeing people with festival foods and hearing the familiar festival sounds in the air. The shrine was smaller than the one I attended as a child, but I felt the same type of festival atmosphere. It was crowded, but not too bad, and I saw many people, from little babies to elders, wearing yukata. It was more than I had expected. I noticed some foods were already sold out, so we decided to eat first. First, we got a pack of yakisoba for 400 yen. Yakisoba is just fried noodles with sauce added and is a typical festival food. Unfortunately, yakitori, which is a grilled chicken skewer, was already sold out. I don't drink, but those kinds of food go well with a cold beer. Yakisoba itself is nothing special, and we make it at home sometimes, but eating yakisoba at summer festival is somehow more special. That's the power of Natsu Matsuri. Next, we lined up for sausage on a stick. It only cost 100 yen, which is pretty cheap, so we got 2. It was tasty and filling. They didn't have it this time, but if you have a chance, I recommend you try corn on the cob at a festival in Japan. Typically, corn is grilled with soy sauce and smells very appetizing. The festival food made us thirsty, so we decided to get ramune and traditional shaved ice. Do you know what ramune is? Ramune is a fizzy drink with a marble inside the bottle that makes a popping sound when opened. I didn't know this, but ramune was invented in England in 1843 and spread to European countries. So, how did it come to Japan? I read when Commodore Perry came to Japan in 1853, this fizzy drink was introduced to samurai for the first time. Even though the bottle was not the marble type, the pop sound surprised samurai, and they tried to draw their swords. At that time, the drink was carbonated lemonade, and the word lemon somehow became known as ramune in Japan. Lemon, 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 ramune. See? Japan began importing the marble bottle from England in 1887, and Tokunaga Glass Company of Osaka succeeded in manufacturing ramune bottles in 1892. This unique bottle has become a characteristic of ramune ever since. The one we got was made of plastic instead of glass, but the way to open it was still the same. I just pushed the marble down into the bottle. Ramune is just sweet soda, but it tasted nostalgic and the bottle made me smile. It's impossible to get the marble out without breaking the glass bottle, but since this one was plastic, I could easily remove it. Another smile. Next, I would like to talk about kakigori or shaved ice. It's simple but necessary at festivals in Japan. Nowadays, very fancy shaved ice is very popular and they could cost 1,500 yen or more. Some have fancy fruits or milk flavoring or even matcha, but it's just ice. It looks good and I hope I can have those fancy ones someday, but simple traditional shaved ice fits Japanese summer festivals and it only costs 100 yen. Local summer festivals are run by people in the community, so everything was very affordable. Typical syrup options are strawberry, melon, and blue Hawaii. You may wonder what is blue Hawaii. Blue Hawaii is blue syrup and it could be ramune flavor or some type of fruit flavor, but the color needs to be blue. I always love blue Hawaii, but the lady who was in charge told me, you can pick multiple. Okay, so I asked for strawberry too. My husband picked just melon and told me that picking multiple colored syrup is childlike, and we laughed. Another sweet festival food I always get is choco banana, which is a chocolate-covered banana on a stick with some sprinkles on top. But unfortunately, they were all sold out by the time we got there. Sad. Other than food, another fun part, especially for kids, are festival games. So let me introduce a few very typical festival games. First is yo-yo tsuri. Yo-yo is a small water balloon with a rubber string, and tsuri means fishing. The balloons are floating in a small pool, and the kids can choose one and pick it up with a small hook. My image of summer festivals in Japan is seeing small girls dressed in yukata trying the yo-yo tsuri. Another typical festival game is kingyo sukui, which is goldfish scooping. Once you pay, you can get a paper scoop called poi, and you can scoop as many goldfish as you can until your poi breaks. This traditional Japanese game dates back to the Edo period, and it's a staple at summer festivals where both children and adults can play. Usually, you can bring goldfish you successfully scooped back home. There must be some technique or a secret to scoop goldfish with the very delicate poi, because I have seen people who easily scooped a bunch of them. I have tried, but I was never able to scoop even one. If you have a chance, please experience it. The last game I want to introduce is called shateki, which is a shooting gallery, and maybe older kids or even adults can enjoy. You simply aim at the target, and if you knock it over, you win the prize. I have never tried it, but this is also a typical festival game. Finally, I want to talk about Bon Odori. It was a highlight of my Natsu Matsuri experience this time. Originally, Bon Odori was a dance to welcome the spirits of ancestors during the Obon period, which is usually in the middle of August. It was to spend time with their spirits by dancing and then send them off. It was more than just a dance. It was a sacred event. Bon Odori began in the Muromachi period and has a history of about 500 years. Nowadays, people enjoy Bon Odori as a summer tradition. Usually, an elevated stage called yagura is built in the middle of the space. Skillful dancers dance on yagura to inspire participants. Anyone can join the dancing circle. It is very simple, so if you want to join them, don't hesitate. At this local festival, I was surprised that some of the songs were more modern and had a faster tempo, so I thought the choreography may be a bit challenging for the elders, but everyone seemed to be so happy and enjoying themselves. But the traditional Bon Odori songs from the past sounded very familiar to me, and the sound of Japanese taiko drums was very comforting too. After living for 12 years in the United States, I realized I am back home again in Japan. There are Natsu Matsuri all throughout the summer. If you go to a large one, you may have a chance to see omikoshi, which is the portable shrine. More types of food and games may be available too, and it may be fun to enjoy with more people there. But at the local community level, you can experience the essence of traditional Japan. If you have a chance to visit Japan in summer and hear the sounds of Japanese drums out of nowhere, please look for the place where that sound is coming from. You might find the local Natsu Matsuri there. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. I also have an Instagram account for A Million Things About Japan. You can find the link in the description. Do you have a summer festival in your country? Please share your festival experiences in the comments. Alright then, stay tuned for more episodes. Bye bye.